Hi, if this is your first time here, welcome to my YouTube channel. Or if you're like me and you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Chaotic Curl, and in this week's video, we're actually going to be making a granny square top. It's going to be backless. I have it in my mind. I know what it's going to look like. But before we get into that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, don't forget to follow me over on TikTok and Instagram at chaoticcurl_crafts, where you'll be able to see pictures of this current project that I'm working on, as well as previous projects like this top that I made using the same yarn that we're going to be using in this week's project. So don't forget to check me out over there. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be using this same yarn that I used for this top. It is the Lions brand. I have the label here. The Lions brand Tweedle D. Unfortunately, this yarn has been discontinued, but I have it in the color Earl Grey and Pepprtcorn. So since I have this much yarn left, I figured I'd have enough to make another top. So my idea, I'm going to make a granny square top where the granny square is going to be just at the front. And then in the back, I'm going to have 2 rows of granny stripe. I'm going to have 2 rows of granny stripe for the sleeves, or for the straps, not the sleeves. So my plan is to make the granny square in alternating colors. So I want to start off with this color, the Earl Grey, and then build up. The next row would be the pink, and then the gray, and then the pink, and that way until I get the square, because I'm just making the one square out to the size that I want it to be. Once I have that, I'll make sure to add, these sides, so that way I can attach these straps, and then we'll go ahead and make the straps for the back panel as well as the strap so I can tie the top closed. But as of right now, that's my plan. So I'm just going to make one really big granny square for the front and then 2 straps for the back, pretty much. So the hook that I'm going to be using, if I can find it. Well, I had it. I don't have it right now. I have to find it. It's on my bed somewhere. But I'm going to be using my 4.5 millimeter crochet hook to do this. Although the yarn does call for a 5 millimeter hook, I figure going down by just the half a size will give me the tightness in the stitches that I'm looking for, so that way nothing awkward happens. And the type of granny square that I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be doing the traditional granny square with the cluster of 3 double crochet. I'm actually going to be doing the closed granny square. So each stitch is going to get a double crochet, and then it'll be 2 double crochets in the corner, chain 1, 2 double crochets. But of course, I'll show you guys how to do that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're ready to get started. I did make sure to list all the other materials in the description box down below, so don't forget to check that out. And for this project, if you would like to make it yourself, any number 3 lightweight yarn would suffice. It doesn't have to be this one specifically. And of course, you can use multiple colors if you'd like, not just the 2 that I'm using, or just one color if you'd prefer as well. You can also do another variation where it's just the regular granny stripe or the granny square as normal with the clusters of 3 double crochet instead of a closed granny square where it's all double crochet like what I'm going to do. But that's up to you. I'm also thinking of making this top again in multiple colors. So of course, if you follow me over on my TikTok or my Instagram, once I have that completed, you guys will be able to see that over there. But let's get started on this week's project. Okay, so before I can get started on this project, I just want to organize my yarn, since this is what it's become since the last time I used it, which was to make this top, if I'm not mistaken, last summer. So I'm just going to wind up the yarn here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I already finished caking up both skeins of my yarn. As you can see, here's my 4.5 millimeter hook. I found it. So we can go ahead and get started on that granny square. So for the first row, like I like to start my granny squares, I'm gonna go ahead and do that magic circle. So I wrap the tail end of the yarn, take the working yarn, wrap it around my index and middle fingers, wrap it over the tail yarn so that I make this little X, and then I go over the tail, over the tail yarn, wrap around the working yarn, bring it through. There we go. And then just one more for my first chain. And now I'm ready to get started. So I'm going to go ahead like you would with a regular granny square, and I'm going to do clusters of 3 double crochet with 1 chain in the middle. So this is going to be my first double crochet. This is that stacked single crochet. And then just 2 more double crochet. And a chain 1. And now I'm going to go ahead and do that 4 more times. Okay, so here I have my 4 sets of granny stitch, which is the 3 double crochet and a chain stitch in the middle. And I did make sure to do that chain at the end. So now I'm just going to go ahead and pull on the tail yarn to close up my circle. And then I don't like to do the slip stitch, so what I do is just take the loop off of my hook, turn my project, go into that first stitch that we made, and then just put the loop back on the hook and pull through. Okay, and so from here I'll start off with that stacked single crochet, and for this one I am going to do 2 rows of the pink, and then I'll add the gray in the 3rd row. Okay, so I closed my circle and I did my stacked single crochet for that first double crochet. So we're going to go ahead and do another double crochet into the same space, chain 1, and then we're going to do 2 more double crochet. Now, instead of skipping over these stitches and going right into that next corner space, we're actually going to double crochet into each stitch across. So that should be 3. So there we go. That's the first one. 2 and 3. And then to work the corner, like we did at the beginning, we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet into that same corner space. And again, we're not skipping over these 3 stitches. We're actually going to double crochet right into them until we get to the next corner, and we're just going to continue that way until you make it back to the beginning. Okay, so this is what it should be looking like once the second row is completed, and as you can see, we don't have any spaces except where I did that chain 1. And then over here as well. There and there. You just want to make sure that you keep track of your corners. So I did finish this off, and what I'm going to do is just continue working it the same way as I did the second row. So in each corner I'm going to do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet across all stitches, and then back into the corner, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and change colors into the gray. so that way I can add the accent of the gray. But I'll check in with you guys when I'm about, I would say 6 rows in, just so you guys can see what it looks like and how the colors are progressing. Okay, so I'm ready to start working on the side panel. I already attached my yarn with that stacked single crochet stitch. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually start with the granny stripe. So this is going to be my first double crochet. So what I do from here is skip 2, and in that third stitch, I'm going to do 3 double crochet. So that's going to be my first granny stitch. Okay, and again, we're just going to go ahead and skip 2, and then to that third one, do our 3 double crochet. And I'm going to continue this way down the row, and at the end, I'll be finishing off with 1 double crochet. Now to begin row 2 of this 2-row repeat pattern for the granny stripe, I'm going to start off by doing a double crochet or a stacked single crochet into that last single double crochet from the previous row, and another double crochet in that space. Now we're just going to continue doing the granny stripe like normal, so it's going to be clusters of 3 double crochet into the spaces between the clusters from the previous row. And this is just how we're going to continue the pattern for the rest of the side panel. So if you start off with 2 double crochet, you're ending with 2 double crochet, and then the next row should start with 1 double crochet and end with 1 double crochet. And you're just going to continue that way for the rest of the pattern. And of course, I'm going to show you guys how I decrease, because I do decrease for the side panels just for a couple of rows. Okay, now that I've finished that second row of the granny stripe, I'm actually ready to get started on my decrease. So what I do still start the row with my stacked single crochet. So I'm just going to single crochet 2 together. So as you saw, I went through the loop, yarned over and pulled up the loop. Again, go through the next stitch, yarn over and pull up the loop. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm just going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And I'm going to continue with the stacked single crochet. So I'm going to go into the back loop, the last loop that I did. Go underneath, yarn over, pull through, and then I'm just going to yarn over and pull through to finish that second single crochet. So that's how I decreased for this one. So I'm going to continue doing the decreases only on this top side. So what I'm going to do is just skip that space and go into the next space. So that way I'm decreasing by 3 stitches. And I continue doing the granny stripe as normal all the way to the end. So I'm not going to decrease on the other end. I'm just going to work the pattern, and then I'll come back and I will show you guys how I finish the second row, because I'm just going to be decreasing every other row. So the rows that start with 1 double crochet are the rows that will be decreasing. Okay, so I just finished the decrease row, which is this one here. So my next row, which is the one I'm working on now, like I said, I'd come back and show you guys how to finish it. So this one is just going to finish with the 2 double crochet at the end. And then for that next row that follows, we'll be decreasing again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, turn my work. Start with my single crochet, so that'll be 1, 2, go through all of them, onto the back line, pull up, yarn over, and again we're going to skip this space and do 3 double crochet. And I'm just going to do this one more time, where I'm not going to decrease in the next row, and then for that last row I'll just do the decrease like I've been doing, and then I'll continue with the stripe as normal. And I'll show you guys what that looks like once it's done. So as previously mentioned, this second row is a no decrease row. That means we're ending with 2 double crochet. So I'm just going to work my second double crochet right now into that stack single crochet from the previous row where we had decreased, and this is going to be my last decrease. So I'm going to go ahead, turn my project, decrease or single crochet 2 together, and then add that second single crochet on top for my stacked single crochet. And then of course, like I previously did, I'm going to skip that first cluster of 3, and then I'll continue with the stripe as normal. And after this decrease row, I just continue as normal. So the next row I'll be finishing with 2 double crochet, and then I'll continue going with the 1 double crochet on each end and then 2 double crochet. So I will continue with the granny stripe as normal. No more decreases, no more skipping clusters from here. Okay, so now I've just finished the side and I'm ready to get started working on the strap. Now for the strap, I'm not going to detach the yarn. I'm not going to do anything different. I'm not going to make any chains either. So what I'm going to do is work into that double crochet that I had just completed from the side panel, and I'm going to start with my stacked single crochet stitch. And then from here, I'm actually going to build the same granny stripe that I had into the side, so at the top of the side panel. So there goes my second double crochet. Now I'm just going to skip that double crochet and I'm going to go into the space after it, so into that next double crochet from the next row, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets. So my first granny cluster there, And then I'm going to do the same thing. After I finish those 3 double crochet, I'm going to skip that double crochet from the side panel, and I'm going to put 2 double crochet right behind it. That way it's basically like skipping two chains. So I'm going to go ahead, put my 2 double crochet, and then from here, I'm just going to continue building up the strap until I get it to the length that I need it to be. And I'm going to continue working the granny stripe as normal. So that's what it looks like. I'm just going to turn my work and continue working on it. Since I did start with 2 double crochets on each end, this next row is going to be 1 double crochet, a cluster of 3 or 2 clusters of 3, and then another double crochet, but you'll see that now. Now, as I was working on the strap, I ended up in a game of yarn chicken where unfortunately I did run out of the Tweedle yarn in the Earl Grey, and I had already finished the Pepprtcorn color. So I actually went into my stash and I pulled out the Truboo in this gray color that you're seeing on the left side of the screen. I'm just going to attach the 2, and then I'll continue from there, just finishing up the strap since it is just a couple more rows. And this is actually the color that I had that was the closest to the gray. Every other color was actually a lot lighter or black, and I didn't want to do a black strap to finish it off, so I just finished it with this gray. Okay, and this is actually how I went about attaching the strap to the granny square. So as you can see, I have my strap finished in that Truboo color there. But what I'm going to do, I already got started with my first single crochet for the stack single crochet. So now I'm going to go through the space or the corner space from the granny square, pull my loop through there, and I'm going to finish the second single crochet now. Okay, and so what I do now to continue with the next stitch is I'm actually going to remove the loop that's on the hook now from my hook, and I'm going to insert the hook into the next stitch from this one that I just had my yarn inserted into, because we are going to continue with the same granny stripe from the strap. So I'm just going to reattach or re-loop the loop, re-loop the loop onto my hook, so that I can pull that loop through the stitch from on the granny square. And now I'm just going to do a double crochet as normal into the space. And I'm going to do this for each stitch. So each time I'm going to remove the loop from my hook, re-loop the loop onto the hook, do the double crochet, and then again, remove the loop, go through the next stitch, re-loop the loop, and just continue that way until I finish with the strap. And so to finish off attaching the strap, I'm going to do that last double crochet as you normally would. And then of course, you're going to see me remove the loop, go into the next stitch, re-loop the loop, and then I'm going to just basically make the chain, and that finishes it off. So what I do from here is I'm actually going to cut it off and then just weave it in. But that's what the other strap looks like as well. So now I have both straps attached to my granny square. And this is what the finished granny square looks like before it's been blocked. I am gonna block this project. Here is the completed top. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like laying flat, well, flat-ish on the table. But as you can see, I have the two side panels in the two different colors, as well as the straps in the back, and of course the string to tie it all together with. And I'm definitely loving the way that it looks. Okay, this is what the top is looking like without the flash. This is what the colors look like. And as of right now, it is very wrinkly, so I'm gonna try and see if maybe I can block it just to relax the fibers and to get the square to, you know, lay more flat. And I want to see also if this is going to affect the fit. Now, I did already try it on, so I'm going to try it on again just so you guys can see what it looks like. But, well, no, I'm going to try it on again after I finish it. But yeah, I'm going to try and block it just to see how it goes. And okay, what I'll actually do is I'll post on my TikTok and on Instagram, as well as on the YouTube shorts, what it looked like before and after blocking on. So this is what it looks like right now before blocking. Of course, if you want to learn how to block any of your items, I'm going to link down the video below where I learned how to do it. Since this is my first time, I don't feel comfortable teaching it just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot, and I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like once it's dry. And of course, I'll show you guys what it looks like on once the blocking is finished as well. So I'll go ahead and do that and see you guys in the next clip. So here it is. This is the finished top. As you can see, the solid granny square came out beautifully. I definitely love the color combination. I loved it in my bow top, and I'm definitely enjoying it in this top as well. As you can see, both straps ended in gray. This is that Truboo that I had left over from Lion's brand. This is a blend of cotton bamboo, but it was the closest to gray that I had. So of course I had to use it just to be able to finish off the strap. And on this side, I actually ended up running out of the peppercorn color, so I had to finish it off in the Earl gray. But this is what the top is looking like, and it was super easy to make. All I literally did was crochet a large enough granny square to cover my chest. This is what it looks like after blocking. If you do want to see what it looked like on before blocking, of course, check out my Instagram or my TikTok at chaoticgirl_crafts, where I'm going to post a TikTok and a reel about how that process went. But I think it went beautifully. I love the fit of the top. It's super soft, and I just think it's gorgeous. But this is what it's looking like. As you can see, I also used the granny stripe for the side panels as well as for the straps. And I just finished it off with a little string to tie it in the back like a corset. And this is the finished top. Right now, I'm just wearing it with some sweatpants, but of course you can style it with jeans, with a skirt, over a dress, any way you want, basically. But this is what it looks like. And like I said, I am thinking about making this pattern again with the open granny stripe or the traditional granny square. So I do want to see what that looks like as well. And I think I'm going to try it as well with more colors just to see how that goes. But as of right now, I'm super happy. I love the way the top turned out. It came out exactly the way that I imagined it. So I'm definitely going to be making this again. And of course, if you check me out on TikTok or Instagram at chaoticgirl_crafts, you'll be able to see pictures of that when I do make it, as well as this project and previous projects that I've worked on in the past, as well as the projects that I'm currently working on. And for next week's project, it is going to be another granny square project. So just keep an eye out for that if you're interested in what I can make with more granny squares. Of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will come back the next time I post a video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a great week. Bye.